What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, the draft is always an exciting time in Detroit, especially considering our teams always have a high draft pick because we absolutely suck at sports here. But especially around this time of year, the Detroit Lions fandom and the Detroit Lions get a lot of hype and a lot of eyes surrounding their draft pick, what they're going to do with their draft pick, whether they're going to take a quarterback, whether they're going to take best player available, whether they're going to trade down or trade up. It's a big debating point in Detroit sports, and every single year the Detroit Lions fandom has their own idea of what the Lions should do with their respective pick. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the Lions situation in the draft, talk about their number 7th overall pick, the different routes that they can go with it, and why the Detroit Lions have the best drafting situation out of every NFL franchise this year, and the way that they can maximize the number 7 overall pick. Now, before we get into talking about the number 7 overall pick, the different routes the Lions can go, how they can maximize the value of the pick, and why they have the best situation when it comes to drafting in the NFL. If you are new to the channel and are enjoying this Detroit Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out every day to do so. Helps the channel out a ton, helps the channel out more than you could know. It's quick, it's easy, it's free. I'd be super appreciative for it. However, with all that being said, and without any further ado, let's take a look at the Detroit Lions 7th overall pick, the different routes they can go with the 7th overall pick, and why, with that number 7 pick, do the Lions hold the best position in the draft. Now, the Detroit Lions are solidified at the number 7 overall pick, and we've known that for a very long time. However, what we should do with the pick and fans' view of what this selection should be at 7, or how the number 7 overall pick should be used, seems to change on the daily. A week ago, it was we need to draft a quarterback. Now it could be best player available. Now a lot of people think we're going to go wide receiver. Now some people think we're going to trade back. And every single day, the pick and the way we should use the pick seems to change with trades, with signings, with front office people, with interest, with all these different factors and all these different situations for the Lions. Now, in my opinion, the Lions have 2 different ways they can go that can really maximize this number 7 overall pick. The first way they can use the number 7 overall pick is go best player available, get the best player on the board, whether that be Penei Sewell, whether that be Micah Parsons, whether that be Ja'Marr Chase, whether that be, Zach Wilson, any of those top prospects. One of them is going to be there, considering you sit at the top 7. One of the top 7 prospects is going to be there, so the Lions have the option to go best player available, especially with the whole Jared Goff situation. Now, with a stable quarterback, they now have the ability to go best player available, and that can be a great route for the Detroit Lions to go. First off, if you look at best player available, who's going to be there at 7, you have guys like Zach Wilson, you have Justin Fields, you have Penei Sewell, Ja'Marr Chase, Micah Parsons, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Smith. One of those 7 is going to be there. Likely 2 of those 7 are going to be there at the 7th overall pick, and admittedly, all of them are phenomenal players. All of them are very, very good football players, obviously being looked at as top of the draft class, obviously being looked at 7 of the top players in this class. And funnily enough for the Lions, and coincidentally enough for the Lions, a lot of those positions are positions of need. You have wide receiver on there in the top 7, you have a great O-lineman in the top 7, you have a great linebacker in the top 7, which are all big positions of need for the Detroit Lions. So they can very easily go best player available, address a need while getting the best player off the board, and that can be a great way for the Lions to use the pick. And that's what a lot of Lions fans believe they will do with the pick, and that's what the Lions have done with the draft pick that they've been given for the last couple of years. However, I do believe there is a better way to spend the pick, and that is trading the pick away for a haul and moving down a few spots and acquiring draft capital for the coming years. Bob Quinn never traded down as the Detroit Lions general manager. He was in a position last year, and a lot of people thought the Lions were going to trade down, and they ended up not trading this pick at all, and obviously ended up selecting Jeffrey Okudah with the number 3 overall selection. But this year, with a new general general manager, I do believe the likelihood of trading this pick away is relatively high. Obviously, Brad Holmes coming from the Rams organization, the Rams aren't necessarily super conservative when it comes to their draft picks. The Rams aren't necessarily going to stick with their first round pick all the time. They're going to do what they think is best to get the franchise where it wants to be. And I believe Brad Holmes is going to bring some of that ideology over to Detroit. And the best course of action right now for the Lions would be trading away the 7th overall pick to a team that needs a Penny Sewell, to a team that needs a Justin Fields or a Zach Wilson. If one of those guys were to fall, the Lions can trade that pick away for an absolute haul and build and gain more capital for the future to complete this rebuild even faster. When I went on the mock draft simulators, when I was going through the mock drafts and doing some of the research for this video, I used the Draft Network's mock draft, which has a lot of different, scenarios where different teams will approach you trying to trade for, decently fair offers, at the number 7th overall pick. I had Washington approach Detroit offering the number 19 pick, the number 72 pick, and a 2021 first round pick. They had New England offering for the 7th pick for their 15th, their 46th, and a 2022 first. You had Buffalo offering for their 30th, their 61st pick, their 93rd pick, their 2022 second, and their 2022 third round pick. You also had Indianapolis offer their 21st pick, their 2022 first round pick, and their 2022 second round pick. So, looking at the potential trade offers for the number 7 overall pick, the Detroit Lions can get a lot of value. They can still get a decent first round pick in this draft, somewhere in the mid-teens to early 20s. Plus, they can get a 2022 first rounder to add to their collection of 2022 first round picks, along with a mid-round pick for this year's draft as well. So I do believe if the Lions want to trade out of this pick, there will be a decent number of suitors looking to trade up, especially quarterback needy teams that want that 4th quarterback. Or if Penny Sewell falls, there's not going to be a shortage of teams looking for an elite offensive tackle coming out of college. If Jamar Chase falls, there's not going to be a lag of teams looking for a truly dominant wide receiver coming out. If Zach Wilson or Justin Fields falls, over Trey Lance, if Trey Lance gets picked before either of them, you have a lot of teams that'll be interested in Wilson and Fields. There's a lot of different scenarios in which a lot of good talent will fall to number 7, and in every single scenario, there are going to be a lot of people and a lot of teams looking to trade up in front of Carolina, looking to trade up in front of Denver, and looking to trade up in front of Dallas to acquire the best player available, especially if it's a quarterback or an offensive tackle like Penny Sewell. This is a rebuild, and I've mentioned it a couple times in the last previous videos. The Lions are in a rebuilding stage right now. They are looking to rebuild everything from the ground up. They are all of a sudden, they went from being, try to win now to all of a sudden this is a 2, 3, 4 year rebuild where we're going to have to build this team up from the ground because Matt Patricia broke it. In trading away this pick to acquire another 22 first round pick, acquire a mid round pick and a first round pick in this draft will help that rebuild go that much faster. And you might be saying, oh, the Lions are so bad, they should take the best player available because they can improve at just about every position. If you look at the talent in the mid-teens to early 20s, you still have a lot of very talented guys there. Obviously Frank Ragnow, when we drafted him, he was at pick number 20. If you go to a lot of big boards, you go to the 20, the late teens to the early 20s, you have guys like Gregory Rousseau. I've seen Kwity Paye fall. I've seen Christian Barmore fall. I've seen Rashad Bateman and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and Azeez Ojulari and Kadarius Toney. I've seen all of them fall into the late 20s as prospects. And if you go to a lot of big boards, all of those guys are 15 to 23, somewhere in that range. So if we do trade down to if we do trade down to the mid-teens, the early 20s, we'll still be getting a very good, very high potential player that can still be very impactful for this franchise. And even if we trade down a little farther than that, say with Buffalo, say with, maybe Pittsburgh or with New Orleans, you still have guys in the 30s like Rondale Moore and Zaven Collins and Asante Samuel Jr. and Wyatt Davis and Andre Cisco and Najee Harris. There's a lot of talent in this first round. There's a reason that these guys are going to be first round picks. It's because they are incredibly talented. And if the Lions got any of those guys I just listed, if they get any of those guys in the top 7, any of those guys in the mid round, or any of those guys even in the late first round, they will be improving the team at that position. They'll be getting a young, talented player at a position of need, most likely, that can plug and and play immediately, and even though he's not a top 7 pick, will still have a ton of impact while giving the Lions more flexibility and more capital later in, oncoming years. With that being the case, with the Detroit Lions sitting in a position where they can realistically take anybody in the draft. If you were to tell me in a couple of months that the Lions take Zach Wilson, I wouldn't bat an eye. If you told me they would take Justin Fields or Penny Sewell or Jamar Chase or Micah Parsons or Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith at 7, I would not doubt you if you told me that. If you were to told me we traded down and we got, either Gregory Rousseau, Kwity Paye, Christian Barmore, Rashad Bateman, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Azeez Ojulari, Kadarius Toney, I would not be mad at that. If you told me we traded down to 30 and we got a guy like Rondale Moore, Zaven Collins, Wyatt Davis, Asante Samuel Jr., Andre Cisco, or Najee Harris, I still wouldn't be incredibly mad at those picks. This draft class has quite a lot of talent throughout the entirety of the first round and even early into the second round, that no matter where the Lions trade down to, they are going to get a good player. And the fact that they can go anywhere with this pick, but they're not forced to go anywhere with this pick, makes them an incredibly dangerous team. It makes them an incredibly intriguing trade partner for a lot of NFL franchises. If that fourth quarterback falls and it's not Trey Lance, say it's Zach Wilson, say it's Justin Fields, you'll get the Niners, the Patriots, likely the football team, Indianapolis, maybe Pittsburgh, maybe New Orleans, all looking to trade up. And that's not even everybody. You got other teams in there that could need a quarterback, like Dallas, like Denver. All of those guys are going to be looking to trade up if there's that elite quarterback prospect left. If Penny Sewell somehow falls to 7, you're going to have just about every NFL team looking to trade up with you. If Jamar Chase falls, you're going to have a lot of NFL teams looking up to you, trying to trade for the number 7 pick. So the Detroit Lions right now are in the best position in the draft because they're not a Jacksonville Jaguars that are almost forced to take a quarterback. They're not the Cincinnati Bengals who were almost forced to take a wide receiver. They are not they are not forced to take any pick right now. They can go anywhere with the number 7 overall pick. They can pick anybody available and it will improve their team, and that makes them a dangerous team in the draft. That will drive up the price of the number 7 overall pick, and that will get us more capital if we do end up trading it away. And again, even if we don't trade it away, we still have a lot of capital going forward and we'll get a top 7 player in the 2021 draft class. So looking at the Detroit Lions situation, looking at the fact that they can go anywhere with the pick, but they don't have to go anywhere with the pick, looking at the fact that there will be no lack of trading partners to trade up to number 7, looking at the fact that there is talent throughout the entirety of the first round, and the Lions will get a good quality player at any pick they have in the NFL draft, and the fact that if we do trade out and get another 2022 first, or we get another, first round pick this year, third round pick, and another 2022 first round pick, the Lions are in a position where they can have a first round pick this year, get some quality, have a couple mid round picks this year, get some quality, then go into 2022's class with 3 first round picks, then the year after have 2 more first round picks. The Lions are in a position to have 6 first round picks in the next 3 draft classes, including this up and coming one. They are in a very good drafting position, and considering where we were a couple months ago with 5 picks and nothing special about any of them, the Lions in the front office have made this team incredibly valuable in a very, very short time. And to me, the Lions, with the fact that they can go anywhere with this draft pick, they can trade down, they can go best player available, and no matter what the decision is, I would not be surprised at anything the Lions do at this point. Every single player on the board is a realistic take for the Detroit Lions. You can realistically tell me any of those top 7 guys, any of those mid-round guys, any of those late-round guys fit in Detroit, and I would probably agree with you and say they have a spot and they have a role to play in Detroit. And if we got them, they can be quality starters. So for that reason, and the reason that the Lions can get more capital for this rebuild, I believe right now they stand at the best position in the draft over every other team. They're not glued to a prospect like the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are not stuck without draft picks like the Houston Texans. They are not stuck with a wide receiver like Cincinnati. They are not stuck and have to take a quarterback like probably Atlanta will have to. They can go anywhere with the pick and do anything with that pick, making that extremely dangerous and driving that number 7 price up so much more than it otherwise would be. With all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about the Lions drafting situation. Do you think they are the best situation in the draft right now? Do you think they have the best situation situation and sit with the most power in the draft right now? Or do you think that the Lions still hold a lot of power, but maybe they're not quite the best situation when it comes to drafting? Let me know that down in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think about this situation. But with all that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. If there is Lions news before tomorrow, I will obviously make a video letting every single person know. But until then, that's all I got for you guys now. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with more Lions content. Thank you all for watching. Bye, guys.